going on, guys? It's your boy Dylan the Villain coming back at you once again with some more Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. It is Thursday, week 2, November of 1997. Why did it book the same arena again? It's not supposed to be in the Arrowhead Pond. Why did it do that? Oh my god. Alright. We're just going to keep going. In a pre-show match that had a little heat, TNA defeat the Pitbulls when Test submitted Pitbull number 2. The match got a 59. Test with a 57. A-Train with a 58. Pitbull number 2 with a 54. And Pitbull number 1 with a 53. Pitbull have the tag team specialist bonus. And announcing color commentary gave the match a boost. We move on to our pre-show main event of SmackDown, which is Dean Malenko taking on Lance Storm, and he beats Lance Storm. They have great chemistry together, and it showed in their performance. I'm pretty sure I knew that. Pretty sure I already knew that. If not, then that is a mental note that I will take down. In a pre-show that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, a light heavyweight contest between Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko beats Lance Storm by submission with a Texas Cloverleaf. This match got a 76, Dean Malenko with a 93, and Lance Storm with a 64. They have great chemistry, like I already said, and it showed in their performance. We are going to move on to the opening segment of SmackDown. We move on to the opening segment of SmackDown as we see The Rock and Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon in Vince McMahon's office. And The Rock is standing there alongside the big boss man, flanking The Rock. And The Rock's just like, I don't understand what this has to do with anything. The Rock doesn't care who he has to, what he has to do, or who he has to defend his title against. He doesn't care if it's Kurt Angle. He doesn't care if it's the Big Slow. He doesn't care who it is. Jericho. I've already beat Jericho numerous times, time and time again. He doesn't care who he has to defend the title against. Vince is like, that's right. That's why I handpicked you, as the chosen one of the future of the World Wrestling Federation. Shane's just like, well, but the events that happened on Raw is War, technically Kurt Angle never tapped out due to the actions of the Big Show. Kurt Angle never submitted. And I think it's only fair that we give him that he shouldn't be thrown out of the number one contender ship rankings. The Rock's like, Rock's like, I don't care, and all that stuff. Why'd you call me in the office? And Shane's like, well, me and Dad were talking, and we came up with a good idea. Since technically on the record books, Chris Jericho did win the Intercontinental Championship number one contendership match, and this being your show, we figured it would be a great opportunity to go ahead and give Chris Jericho that title shot opportunity. And The Rock's like, what are you talking about? Kurt Angle didn't tap out. Kurt Angle didn't submit. Why can't it be, why not do a rematch here tonight between Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho to determine the definitive number one contender? And Shane's just like, well, that leads me to Kurt Angle. Since Big Show didn't have an opportunity to compete in that triple threat matchup for the number one contendership, and finding out the actions of Kurt Angle with the help of APA, we're going to book Kurt Angle versus Big Show. And the winner of that match will be the number one contender. Whether Jericho beats you here tonight for your Intercontinental Championship or not, whoever wins out of y'all's match will be Intercontinental Champion. And whoever wins between Kurt Angle and Big Show will be the number one contender. And Rock's just like, well, if I lose, which I'm not, what about my rematch? And Shane's just like, well, your rematch will come after the number one contender gets their shot at the championship. And Vince is sitting there and he's shaking his head and he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. And Rock's like, you're going to let him do this? You're going to let him get away with this? Vince is like, yeah, it sounds like a good thing. You being the future of the World Wrestling Federation, I think you can handle somebody like Chris Jericho. Rock's like, you're damn right I can handle somebody like Chris Jericho. Shane's like, well, hold on 1 second, Rock. You see, I was looking over Chris Jericho's rematch clause in his contract, and it says that any outside interference caused by either party will result in that party automatically losing the matchup, and the winner of that matchup being rewarded the Intercontinental Championship. Rock's like, I'm confused. I don't understand. He's like, basically what Jericho contract states here is that if any outside interference costs you the match, then you win the Intercontinental Championship. If anybody costs Jericho the match, Jericho will be the new Intercontinental Champion. So that means outside interference between, I don't know, say your new personal security, the Big Boss Man, interferes, will result in you losing your Intercontinental Championship. Rock's like, that's not fair, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. And Shane, sarcastically saying, well, you're the future of the World Wrestling Federation, right? You should have no problem with defending your championship fair and square. Rock kind of stands there and he's just like, all right, I see what you're doing. He's like, all right, yeah. I'm going to go get ready for my main event matchup between Jericho. Come on, boss. And he taps Boss Man on the shoulder, and Boss Man doesn't say anything, and he kind of just grunts, and he goes there. So we know the relationship between Big Boss Man and The Rock now. The Rock hired the Big Boss Man to be his personal security guard, which helped him win that Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown last week from Stone Cold Steve Austin. We are going to move on to our next segment of the night. Our huge main event is The Rock versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship, and our number one contendership, the Big Show, getting the opportunity that he never got against Kurt Angle for the number one contendership. We are going to move on to the next segment, which is our opening contest, as Eddie Guerrero takes on one Goldust. Eddie Guerrero with a 93, not bad at all. Goldust with a 85. This advances the Frog Splash versus Frog Splash storyline. Goldust and China had pretty good chemistry. The match got an 87, but Eddie Guerrero defeats Goldust with a Frog Splash in 7:39. After the match, Eddie Guerrero takes the mic and he goes, there's a lot of people running their mouths here lately. People saying that I'm doing a move that my good friend, who sadly passed away, did, that I do to honor him. Saying that I don't have a right to use the move. That my version of the move is a disgrace. If anybody's a disgrace, it's you, Rob Van Dam. If anybody is to be dishonored or disgraced in any way, it's you. You disgraced your name, you tarnished your name when you walked into the World Wrestling Federation with that mama's boy tennis racket carrying, thinks he's a wrestling promoter, Jim Cornette. You want to issue a challenge to me when you can't even get on the main shows that you're relegated to Sunday Night Heat, while I'm here on SmackDown, and you want to challenge me, while I'm appearing on the A shows and you're on the B shows, and you want to challenge Rob Van Dam. Rob, I already beat you once, and I'm more than happy to beat you again. So you want a match? You just name the time and place, and I'll give you that match. Whether you want it on Raw is War, whether you want it on SmackDown. But it's probably going to be on Heat because that's the only show that you can appear on. And the crowd's like, oh, oh, you can't even get on the main shows, oh. And everyone's just like, I'm not doing anything in 2 weeks' time. Why don't we have that match at Survivor Series? Me versus you. One more time. Frog Splash versus Frog Splash. You want to be in the main event? You want to go against the main event guys? You want to make the big money, Rob? Or is that your manager who wants to ride your coattails and take your money just like he did old Dwayne Gill? But you want a match, Rob? I'll give you that match. And when I beat you with the Frog Splash, you ain't going to be using that Frog Splash anymore. This match the segment got a 100. Rob Van Dam did a pretty good job cutting that promo along with Jim Cornette. We are going to move on to the next segment. And it is a tag team matchup with the New Foundation taking on the Legion of Doom. And the New Foundation of Brian Pillman and Jeff Jarrett defeat the Legion of Doom when Brian Pillman pinned Road Warrior Animal with an air Pillman. The match got a 79. They could have did a lot better than that. But Double J Jeff Jarrett with the 82. Brian Pillman with the 89. Road Warrior Hawk with a 68. And Animal with a 61. The Rebel Heart storyline advances. Road Warriors have excellent chemistry teaming together. They also have the tag team specialist bonus. Announcing quality gave the match a boost. And Double J and Deborah have pretty good chemistry together. After the match, we see Owen Hart. He was at ringside on the commentary booth, and he gets in the ring and he has a mic in his hand. He goes, Brett, I heard your little promo that you cut on Raw is War talking about how you want a Survivor Series tag team matchup. The Hart Foundation taking on the New Foundation. The old versus the new. And yet you sit here and you say you want it to be a 3-on-3 matchup, and you're saying that you have a mystery partner who's willing to cripple us. Saying that he's from the Hart family dungeon, that he trained in the Hart family dungeon. Well, let me tell you something. Anybody who trained in that dungeon knows that I'm the best Hart to come out of that dungeon. You're not even the second best person to come out of that dungeon, because that man is standing right next to me. So whoever you dug up from whatever gutter that you found somewhere in Canada, and you want to think that he has a right to be a part, you think he's good enough to team up with you? I'm not surprised. Brett, you manipulated and brainwashed us for years, me and Brian. And we've had enough. And nobody here in this company can see how damn great Double J Jeff Jarrett is. You got to realize, Brett, that no matter who you get, they're just old and washed up just like you are. Just like you're going to be. That no matter what you say or what you do or who you think you have up your sleeve or some trick that you have up your sleeve is gonna win you this matchup, I'm here to say that you are sadly mistaken. That no matter who you got, they're not gonna help you win this match, Brett. Because it's out with the old and in with the new. And I accept your challenge. We accept your challenge at Survivor Series. You want to embarrass yourself, Brett? Go right ahead. But when I beat you, I'm going to make sure I cripple you to where you never step foot in a ring again. And Pillman takes the mic and he goes, "That was some strong words there, Brett Owen. But you see, myself, I can't wait until Survivor Series. Oh no. You see, there's this little thing on my back that's just been bothering me and bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. You see, I went away for a while and I came back and I'm here to prove myself. I'm here to prove to everybody here, to the Booker man with his stupid little glasses sitting behind his little computer screen booking this in his free time. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I know what he's going to do. I know that right after SmackDown, he's going to go and book Sunday Night Heat. He's going to do his little voiceovers for the thing. He's going to do all his little stuff. But if he was a smart man, which I know he is, a smart, handsome man with a smile to die for. That's right, I'm talking to you, Booker man. Talking you up, making you look good. You know who I'm talking about. He winks. He winks at the camera. He goes, if the Booker man was a smart guy, on Raw is War, he would put me against Bret Hart so I can humiliate Bret Hart in front of his home people in Canada, in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I can humiliate him in front of all the Canadian fans. And I can laugh. And Owen can laugh. So we can send him packing home early to good old mom and dad who are sitting there raising their children, hoping that their children will do the best in their career when their best is right here standing next to me. And the one son that they cashed in all their chips on is not the one that they should have betted on in the first place. So if that Booker man's smart, which I know he is, he will book me against Bret Hart on Monday Night Raw. Which you already know that he's written it down in his little green notebook with his fancy little pen that he loved so much. I'll see you on Monday, Brett. And if you just so happen, like Owen said, have somebody who's willing to cripple us, you can just go ahead and bring them with you. Because we will love to see who it is, Brett. No need to hide them. No need to hide. Bring them with you. Because we'll love to know who you have as your third man. Ooh. We're going to go ahead and end this segment. Thank you. Brian Pillman sure is talking nice about the Booker. of the World Wrestling Federation and making him sound like a great guy, handsome, good looking, great smile. Brian Pillman buttering up that booker, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's buttering up that whoever's booking this and everything. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next segment. I'm sure whoever is booking this save is quite a smart, handsome fellow, if I do say so myself. So we're gonna move on to the next segment. Oh yes, we see Shawn Michaels backstage in Vince's office, and Vince is like screaming at him. He's just like, "What are you doing? Talking about you want Kevin Nash or Scott Hall next week on Raw? You know damn well I can't give you that match. You know damn well I can't book that match. You know damn well that I have to go through hoops and hurdles just to get them and give them a ridiculous amount of money just for them to be here on just the show and stuff like that." He goes, "Not only do you want Hall and Nash, but Triple H wants Hall and Nash." And he's just like, I've been talking on their phone to their agent for since the pay-per-view, trying to get them back here so they don't have the last laugh on us and everything. And I just got off the damn phone and I found out that your friend, or your frenemy that you like to call him, will be defending his WWF Championship against Sting at Survivor Series. Sting wants his title match at Survivor Series. Shawn's just like, what the hell does that have to do with me? And what the hell what do I want right now? I said, next week on Raw, I am going to have my wrestling gear and I'm going to be there. And if Hall or Nash just so happens to show up, I'm willing to take it into the ring. And Vince is like, I can't give you a sanctioned match between Hall and Nash in a WWE ring without them agreeing and signing a contract first. They have to agree to the terms and the money payout before they agree to wrestle anybody. Shawn goes, "This ain't a wrestling match, Vince. Can't you get that through your thick skull?" Hell, Shane's smart enough to realize what I want. I don't want a match between Hall and Nash. Triple H doesn't want a match with Hall and Nash. We want to fight, Vince. It doesn't have to be a sanctioned match. I'm just saying, if they show up in the damn arena, I'll be in the parking lot waiting for them. And Vince is like, you can't do that, Shawn. If you do that, then you're going to go to jail. Shawn's just like, look, I go to jail. I don't care. Vince is like, if you do anything without my permission, then you're going to be fired. Do you understand? I know how much you love your family. I know how much you love your wife and kids. And you're just going to throw away your career just so you can get some revenge on two people that you used to call your friends? Shawn kind of puts his head down and goes, "You damn right I am." He turns around and walks off, and he leaves the office there. And we go on to this matchup after that amazing promo. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Hardys defeat the Dudleys in 13:03 when Matt Hardy pinned Devon following an Omega event. This match got a 77, Matt Hardy with a 79, Jeff with an 81, Devon with a 75, and Bubba with an 81. This advances the tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my, storyline, and gained it some heat. There were times there was a defined lack of psychology on display, and the match had a tendency to drift a little, which is not good. You really never want to see that. But both tag teams have excellent chemistry teaming together, along with that tag team specialist bonus. Nelson Killer Commentary gave this match the boost that it needed, and Matt Hardy benefited from having a hot new move. That is brand new. We're going to move on to the next segment, and after that segment, we see Edge and Christian in the back watching their little monitor watching the tag team match, and they nod at each other and they acknowledge that the Hardy Boys are now the new number one contenders for the WWF World Tag Team Championships. This segment got a 79. This advances the storyline, and Christian clearly enjoyed not having a script in this. Good to know. We're going to move on to the next segment of the night, which is an interview from Kurt Angle. And Michael Cole asks Kurt Angle, he goes, Kurt, we found out on Raw what happened to the Big Show, and why last week the Big Show was out cold before his match and everything. And Kurt Angle was just like, what? No, that doesn't prove anything, Cole. Okay? That doesn't prove that I've done anything to the Big Show. Okay? I definitely did not pay the Acolyte Protection Agency to beat up the Big Show before the match, to get him out of the match, because I knew that I could easily beat Rey Mysterio. So, Cole, whatever lies or conspiracy that you're on, that's simply not true. And he goes, well, we hear tonight that the Big Show is definitely looking forward to this matchup. Do you have any plans or anything to take on somebody as big as the Big Show? Kurt Angle goes, look, Big Show lacks something that I incorporate in my core values. My 3 I's, if you will. Intensity, integrity, and the big one, which the big guy's lacking, intelligence. Yeah, he might have the intensity, and he might have integrity. Who knows? But he's missing the last and very important piece of the puzzle, that intelligence. And I, Kurt Angle, your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, your 1996 Olympic hero at that I won with a broken neck, oh, it's true, has all the intelligence in the world to take on somebody like the Big Show. And I guarantee, Michael Cole, that I will walk away the new number one contender for that coveted Intercontinental Champion. Intercontinental Championship. So, just keep your eyes on the monitor in the back, Cole, because I guarantee that no matter what Big Show throws at me, I will walk away tonight as the victor. And we go on to that match. And Kurt Angle comes out, and the Big Show just beats the holy shit out of him. Just beats the hell out of him. And every opportunity, anytime Big Show trying to get the one up on Kurt, Kurt rolls out of the ring, and he runs around the ring and makes Big Show chase him and gets back in the ring, and he gets the advantage a little bit. But Big Show, he's just way too powerful. He's way too strong for Kurt. And he's beating up Kurt. And then finally, Kurt hits him and runs out of the ring and makes Big Show chase him all around the ring until the count of 10. And then Kurt slides back in the ring and pulls off the victory. And about that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Kurt Angle defeats the Big Show by countout in 13-10. This match got at 89. Not bad little match. Wish it could have did better, but not bad. I'll take it. Kurt Angle with a 96 and Big Show with a 97. Kurt Angle returns storyline advances but loses heat sadly, and Kurt Angle benefited from having the crowd support. Kurt Angle wins the match. He beats the Big Show by countout. Technically, he wins the match. He didn't win by 1, 2, 3 or submission, but he did win the match. And Kurt Angle celebrates like he won an Olympic gold medal with a broken neck. And he celebrates in the ring, and Big Show's not happy. Big Show slides in the ring. Kurt Angle jumps out of the ring and hightails it through the crowd and everything as Big Show has that face as he's not too pleased and happy that Kurt Angle pretty much used his smarts to win the match up here against the Big Show. We're going to move on to the next segment. Kurt Angle, your new number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. We move on to our next segment. It is a promo for The Rock. Michael Cole stops The Rock before he You know, we go to commercial, we come back. He stops The Rock before the match. He goes, Rock, you're in the main event tonight. You're defending your newly won Intercontinental Championship against a former champion, Chris Jericho. Are you worried or concerned? As we know, if the Big Boss Man or anybody interferes in this matchup, you're going to lose the championship. If anybody interferes on your behalf or Chris Jericho's behalf, you're going to lose the championship. The Rock's just like, I was thinking about that, and I've thought about how unfair it was to The Rock that if anybody interferes on behalf of The Rock, that I get stripped of my championship, and it gets rewarded to the loser. And The Rock started thinking, and that also means that one Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though he's not here tonight, can't interfere on behalf of Chris Jericho, because everybody knows that Stone Cold Steve Austin liked screwing The Rock out of his championships. Like I said before, and I said time and time again, The Rock has no hard feelings against Steve Austin. And hopefully Steve Austin understands that what The Rock did was just pure business. That The Rock has no hard feelings towards Steve Austin. And The Rock's going to go out here and do what The Rock does on The Rock Show, and that's beat the hell out of one Chris Jericho and keep his Intercontinental Championship. And he doesn't care if it was the big slow or the milk-drinking idiot Kurt Angle, who is the new number one contender. Rock doesn't even care. Rock didn't even watch the match. Rock doesn't care. The only thing that The Rock cares about is making sure that The Rock remains your Intercontinental Champion. So The Rock's going to go out there and do what The Rock does, and that's win on The Rock Show. And he goes out there in a bout, 94, not bad, in a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. The Rock defeats Chris Jericho by pinfall after cheating. I would say that he put his hands on the rope after beating Chris Jericho. And he cheated to pick up the win. The Rock makes defense number 1 of the WWF Intercontinental Championship. Jericho with a 95. The Rock with a 98. Austin and the conspiracy victim storylines advanced. This match got a 94. Not bad. We move on to the next segment. Jericho is not too pleased. Not too pleased. The Rock celebrates in the middle of the ring. Jericho goes to attack The Rock. Bossman slides in, attacks Jericho. Rock and Bossman are beating up Jericho. All of a sudden, Steve Austin's music hits. The crowd pops. Steve Austin runs to the ring and chases off The Rock and the Big Boss Man. And Jericho kind of lays there and he looks to see that Austin saved him from a beating. Jericho kind of just looks confused and he's like, why the hell are you coming out here and saving me? And Austin kind of doesn't do anything spectacular, he just looks at Jericho and Jericho looks at him confused like, why the hell did you come out here and save me? But we're going to go ahead and finish the show. The show got a 96, increased our popularity at 37 reasons. We're going to go ahead and finish the show. Oh, man. That's what I need to get done and do and all that good stuff here. No, Paul Heyman. On the little thing, it showed Paul Heyman's name. So something happened with Paul Heyman, who is the booker of ECW, which is our developmental company. So we're going to have to see that. WCW went to a taping format to where they tape a whole month's worth of shows. I guess they're trying to save money because they are in the red. Not bad, but they are in the neg. And they're losing money bad. And all that good stuff. But enough of my jibber jabber. Enough of me talking. You know what to do, guys. Leave a like. Leave a comment down below. I'll get back to them as soon as possible. quickly as possible. Pretty much the same day I get back to them. If you are new to the channel and like what you see, the subscribe icon will be over the SmackDown logo. If you like this episode and want to go back and watch previous episodes, that playlist would be right here. And if you missed the recent episode of Raw is War, that episode will be right here in the right-hand corner. My name is Dylan the Villain, guys. Thank y'all for watching, like always. And like we say here at Pro-Am Gaming, if you can't play with each other, do what I do and play with yourselves. I'll see y'all on Sunday Night Heat.